I'm not joking around here now because it's almost like as if these guys at the top must really, really be laughing in their ivory towers right now. And by the way, I just want to warn everyone right now here that if you've got earphones in and the volume on too high, I suggest you turn it down a little bit because my blood pressure is really, really boiling over right now. I mean, I'm not even playing games right now. It's like I get this piece of information, which turns out to be true, that the government of Ontario, I believe it could be the federal government as well, but, and I'm talking about Canada here, the province of Ontario has just imposed a snitch line. A snitch line for a bunch of old people. Mostly it's going to be old people who would use this snitch line to call in and report businesses which are still open, which are supposed to be non-essential. The government deems them non-essential. And you got these friggin' people in their homes with nothing better to do, calling these snitch numbers, reporting businesses that are still open, trying to be the government's rat culture. And I've warned about this before, where the government will condition us to rat on one another, tear down one another. And people have even been bragging, saying, oh, I just ratted out 10 businesses today. Yippee for me, my life's got meaning again. Now, I have told people within this hemisphere here, North America, Canada, United States, mostly Canada, this is a country that is this type of thing would succeed in more. You can't get away with locking people in their homes in America unless you're in San Francisco, New York City, those big cities which are so easy to control, those liberal cities. But America as a whole, there's no nationwide lockdown that would succeed without a huge riot. But I've warned people that that could come here. It's already happened in France, Spain, Italy, I believe even the Netherlands, and now in UK. And you even hear these politicians literally slobbering at the mouth. They can't believe they've got so much power because of this virus. They've got so much power. And the people are letting them just have it. This power to tax any amount of tax they want, lock up anybody they feel shouldn't be out. If they feel they shouldn't be out, these people are literally putting this decision in the hands of police officers. They decide who can be out and not. You've got drones in the air with communist-style, Chinese communist-style messages warning people to stay in their house! Stay in your house! This is the army! This is the Navy! This is the Marines! This is the police! If we catch you outside, we will kill you! We will shoot you! We will arrest you! Ah! I got so much power! I got so much power! Well, here's my message to people here. And I was pleased to hear about the cases of people stocking up on guns, stocking up on ammunitions. That's one thing I would stock up on, guns. You know, all these fool people in supermarkets stocking up on toilet paper. At times like this, you want to stock up on bullets. And here is my message to all of you willing to listen. Freedom-loving individuals, not stupid morons, stupid idiots who will argue with me. You're gonna, the likes of you, gonna argue with me over who are still listening to their mainstream media, to their government about this virus and using this virus to make themselves more powerful. Just now I hear Justin Trudeau is now asking for more powers, financial powers, to tax people without parliament, to arrest people even without trials. I mean, we're back to this. Back to the war measures days, when his father had the country under martial law, mostly Quebec, over Quebec nationalists who rightfully were fighting for their freedom. And I say rightfully, I supported I wasn't alive back then, but I would have supported the FLQ. I probably would have joined them. I think that all provinces should fight for their autonomy. And if they don't get it, then they should fight for their independence. Yeah, I do. And you still had those mealy-mouse, cowardly Canadians supporting the government with that time, and now we're facing a moment like that again. Here's my message to all of you, from the Frenchman and the Spaniard and the Italian who are going through this right now, to the Canadian and people in America who are being threatened with this. Don't allow your government to make you a prisoner of your own home. And if you feel like you're being bullied by the sheeple, the Kool-Aid drinkers out there, most of you guys are on the boomer class or older, who are bullying people, snitching on businesses, all this sort of stuff, or anyone in general, if you feel threatened by either them or the police or the military, you fight back. You fight back. Now, I'm telling you, this is strong stuff coming from me. Fight back. I'm going to tell you something. I could end up in jail in the next few weeks. Because I'm going to tell you something. And I said this yesterday, and I'm going to say it again. Arana Nation will not allow no government to tell me to become a prisoner in any house. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. Even if I have to kill for my freedoms. I'm telling you. I want this thing to go as viral as possible. If I have to kill, if I have to take my vehicle and run through police barricades, if I have to do whatever it takes. Listen. If you feel that I am putting my life in danger, well then that's my decision. I personally feel, as somebody who's living in a Western free democracy, supposedly, that because this virus has killed less than 1% of the people who have gotten it, it's killed people, and it will continue to kill people. This thing will never go anywhere. This thing is here to stay forever, just like all the other viruses that have come before it. It may be worse at some times, better at other times, but it's going to stay here forever. You may have a different opinion, okay. Then you decide to go quarantine yourself. Quarantine your family. Do all that stuff. And by the way, you got people saying, well, you'll clog up the healthcare system. Well, that's what the healthcare system is for, dumbass, for people who are sick. Now, we've had very bad flu seasons. Very bad flu seasons. Very horrible flu seasons. Where it's killed even more people than this thing has killed even now. And there was no panic. Not even a tiny bit of you must be crazy. People went to the hospital if they felt sick. If they didn't feel sick, they'd stay in their rooms. They'd drink a warm tea or keep their room warm. Do all those sort of stuff. That's just how it is. But if you feel that everything I'm saying is nonsense, you take your family, your stupid family, and go in the basement for the next 100 years. You do that. Go ahead. No one's stopping you. Go ahead. Lock the door, board up your windows, and that's it. But there's no way I'm going to act like that. And if I get it, then I get it. I may even die. It's the same risk I'm taking with the flu, and with Zika, and Ebola, and bird flu, and H1N1, and SARS. And by the way, those things haven't disappeared. They're still around. You don't think that there could be a SARS breakout anytime? SARS can break out at any time, you fool. You think they got rid of that? They hadn't gotten rid of that. That's still out there, just like coronavirus will stay with us forever. But as human beings who live in a free society, that's the risk we are willing to take. And by the way, if the governments of the West had closed their borders to China like they should have done when this thing first came about, until we decide to see, like, okay, how is this virus affecting us? How is it affecting the Chinese? Is it that bad? Is it that good? What is it doing? If we had done that in the first place, this stuff wouldn't be happening right now. And by the way, you all think the Canadian-U.S. border is closed? Hi, sir, you must be out of your mind. Roxham Road is still wide open. In fact, it's probably even more open right now. Justin probably wants, because he's probably thinking to himself, well, these illegals, America, Trump, he's a dummy. He may not be doing enough. He may not be quarantining his people and putting his people under martial law. Let all the illegals come in and we'll help them. You all think this is as straightforward as it is, You really think so? Let me tell you something. I don't plan on being a prisoner in this here home. I can tell you that. I'll continue. In fact, you know what I've been doing lately? I have all this free time, work shut down, everything. I've been, just to spite people like you, I've been taking my car out for drives and stuff like that. I've been doing it. I've been going out. Please, I do it to spite you. And I want someone to stop me. I want someone to stop me. Give me an excuse to use the weapons that I have. Give me an excuse. Let me tell you something. You may think that I'm a terrorist. You may think that I'm crazy or a criminal. You can think all those stuff. They thought George Washington was a criminal. They thought Mandela was a criminal. They thought Gandhi was a criminal. They thought Martin Luther King was a criminal. You can think all those stuff of me if you want, but at the end of the day, God is with me. And if God is with me, no one can be against me. But I promise you, I will fight back. And I urge you to fight back too. The New World Order system, I never knew how asleep people could be. Imagine something like this can actually give the government so much power that they could even contemplate locking down an entire first world country and nobody even bats an eyelid. Man, you must be crazy if you think that I'm going to go through that. The moment I hear that Canada, where I am, is under some sort of martial law, that's the day I hop in my vehicle and I start driving around doing donut holes, all sorts of stuff, and I want someone to stop me. You can kill me dead. You give me a fine, I won't pay it. I may even tear it up in your face. I'm not joking right now. This whole thing is literally pissing me the fuck off. I don't care. YouTube can demonetize this video all at once. I don't care at this point. I gotta speak to you in the way I know how to speak to you, which will break through your thick, tacky-headed skull. You need to fight back now. This is the time. Talking is done. YouTube videos, BitChute videos, Facebook Live videos is done. Okay? We're now ahead. We've got a virus which was most likely man-made, which everybody is going in hysterics over, surrendering all their rights over. All this sort of stuff is going on. Listen, this now is this is the Wild West. This is the standoff. This is the impasse here. Who is going to be the one to draw? I can guarantee you it's going to be me. No one. I repeat, no one is going to keep me in captivity. No one. I'll be like my ancestors who, when the Spaniards brought them to the New World, thought that they could put them in slavery in Central America, and they rose up and they fought back! And they whooped every last one of them Spaniards, and then the Brits came thinking they could maybe be more successful, and we whooped them too! And then we went up in the mountains and we started breeding with the natives in the Central American community, the Mayans and the Incas and all those sort of sea people. That's why I do have a lot of native in me as well. That's the second most racial group in my blood. I'll be just like them, proudly standing up against this government that's going to use this virus to try and take away my rights. You're going to have me sitting up in this house until you think it's acceptable? You must be crazy. You must be out of your God-blasted mind. If you honestly think that this virus is as bad as they're saying it is, which I don't, or let's put it this way, the virus is bad. It's pneumonia. But it has killed less than 1% of the people who have gotten it. Most of the people who have gotten it have recovered. You have many stories of even old people recovering from it. Yes, old people mostly die from it. People with pre-existing conditions die from it. That's like the flu, just like everything else. That's life. It is a virus. It is part of human life. And there's going to be more of them. Especially if we keep going in this globalist direction and we continue being so chummy with China. There will be more of these things. Worse! So, unless you don't want to see, and I can guarantee you this too, before I go, let me tell you this one quick other thing. You think I'm a lone wolf. You don't think there are other people, thousands of other people who are thinking like me, who will stand up for their rights and stand up against a martial law government system? You don't think there are people like that like me, who, if the police try to bully them, the military, the government tries to bully them into submission, they won't fight back? Why do you think so many people are stocking up on guns for? Because they're ready. They are ready. They know what what government does every time a crisis happens. They know. And now you even have cities, Western cities, this is in China, this is in North Korea, Western cities with tanks rolling down them. People are ready. They know. And I'm ready. I ain't going nowhere. I can promise you that. If I have to shoot somebody, if you even harass me for being out in public, and I've heard of cases like that too. You got people out there harassing people who are outdoors, telling them, yeah, that's non-essential. You even tried doing that with me. And you are going to pay for it. You are going to pay for it, and the price is going to be too high, but it's going to get paid. I will make sure it gets paid. I myself, I've stocked up on bullets. I have stocked up on bullets, ammunition. I've got my baseball bat. I've got my knife collection. I've got all sorts. I'm prepared. You test me. You test me with your big bad self. Anyway, before I get too carried away, let me just say that you guys, this is a very, very, very intense time we are living in. You need to stand up for your rights. Do not allow the government to put you in fear. Do not allow the government to take away your freedoms. Remember, this virus has killed less than 1% of the population it has given it to. Most people will survive it, who get it. Yes, it's spreading quickly. It's a new virus. It will slow down. There is no need to force people to stay quarantined. If you think that you need to be quarantined, then quarantine yourself. But don't force a whole nation to do that. Many people do not trust their government and these elite scientists, these so-called scientists, CDC scientists and all these World Health Organization, New World Order type people. Not all of us trust them, okay? You need to understand. If you want to quarantine, you go ahead, and then you'll be safe. And maybe we might be wrong and we get sick, then that means we just have to recover, we pay the price, and we get better. But you are not going to convince me, and you are not going to get me to capitulate under the government. That's not going to happen. I can promise you that. I will sooner spark civil war than go through that. This is the Arana Nation.